This is episode 7 of Deep in Some Thoughts, and today we're going to have our first Nerd Alert episode. Let's go! What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in to Deep in Some Thoughts. And what I gotta say today is Nerd Alert. Nerd Alert. Nerd Alert. Today we're gonna... There's a cat here flying in the air, dude. Today we're gonna talk about Nerd Alert stuff. Okay, so I told you I would warn you, and now you've been warned. So, Nerd Alert. Today we're going to talk about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Okay? Now, specifically, we're going to talk about MCU Phase 4. Now, the reason why I want to talk about that specifically is because we were supposed to get movies already coming out for Phase 4, and everything has been postponed due to coronavirus. So with that, I want to kind of get everybody ready for Phase 4 coming up. Like, what's coming out? When it's going to come out, when they said it was going to get pushed back to, and, you know, also get myself ready, get myself excited, you know, because I'm excited, and it all should have started already, and we haven't gotten a Marvel movie in over a year now, so, yeah, so that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, before we get into that, there's a couple things I want to talk about. First thing is Canon released... Now, I'm a photographer, as you know, and I get really, really nerdy about camera gear and cameras. And anytime anything comes out, I just want to get it. It doesn't matter if it's good or not good. I just want it, you know? So, Canon they came out with a release day for 2 new cameras. Not 1, but 2. Now, about 2 years ago, Canon came out with their first mirrorless camera called the EOS R. And mirrorless, I'm not going to get too much into like specs and stuff, but mirrorless is the future for photography. And the EOS R looked awesome. Okay, so I've been looking into getting one. And then Canon was like, wait, hang on. Hold your horses, bud. Because we got this. And then we also got this. Okay? So Canon just a couple days ago released the Canon EOS R5 and the EOS R6. Okay? And what I got to say to that is take all my money. Because those 2 cameras are probably one of the most amazing cameras that I've seen come out in forever. You know, like a while ago, you know, what was it, like 10 years ago, Chris? 6 years ago, maybe, they came out with the 5D Mark IV. About 4 or 5 years. They came out with the 5D Mark IV, which was like top of the fucking line. And then after that, they came out with the 1DX Mark II. And the 1DX Mark II was like a $5,000 camera, and it did everything that you fucking wanted it to do. Everything. Anything you could ask for in a camera, it did it. And then, Canon likes to come out with these amazing cameras, and then they just like sit back. They're like, oh, we made a good camera. Now we can chill for fucking 10 years. So then, Sony started making awesome cameras. Nikon started making awesome cameras. And then everybody started going mirrorless. And I think Sony only did mirrorless, right? So they started going mirrorless, and all the specs and all, everything on those cameras were just blowing Canon out of the water. Now, I'm a Canon shooter, and I think I will always be a Canon shooter. But at some point, I was considering switching to Sony because, if I'm going to spend the money to get, a better camera, I want to go mirrorless. So, anyways, I digress. Canon came out with the EOS R, and then they came out with these next two. Now, the R5 is amazing. It is the best of the best from what I've seen, and it's like a high-end cinematic camera, but in a little tiny body, and you can travel with it. So you see, like, in the movies, they have these fucking giant-ass cameras, right? All the things that camera can do is put into this little tiny body. So the R5 does, like, 8K RAW format, 45 megapixels, 4K 120 frames per second, full frame. Now, I don't want to get into the details because a lot of the people who are going to listen to this won't understand. But all those specs are fucking amazing, man. The only downfall is that it's so expensive, and everything that comes with that camera is not ideal for me. So when I first read the specs, and I'm like, oh, that's awesome, maybe I'll get that instead. I'll just I'll drop the money. It'll be good. But it's not ideal. I don't see myself shooting 8K 47. No. I don't see myself shooting 8K video ever. I barely see myself shooting 4K video. And I don't shoot that much video. Like, I do want to start getting more into video. And that's a challenge in itself for me to look forward to. But 4K, I don't really see myself doing that so often. So it's expensive. The specs are a little too much, But then camera goes, oh, R5's too much for you, huh? Well, here you go. Here's the R6. Now, the R6 is a lot more affordable, and they didn't take away too much, The R5 and the R6 are pretty similar, except for, the lower megapixel. Whatever. Doesn't shoot 8K. Okay. It does like 120 4K cropped. Yeah, all cameras do cropped. It's rare you get a camera that shoots 4K that's not cropped. What I mean by cropped is like you'll get this much of an image at 1080, and then 4K is like this much. You know what I'm saying? So it's like whatever. Anyways, So the R6 is way more affordable and way more ideal for things that I do. Another issue, though, is if you get the R6, they came out with new lenses. So now I want to buy all the lenses too. So, yeah, and I'm not going to get, like I said, I'm not going to get too much into it. I just wanted to say, hey, Canon's up in their game, man. And I don't know when the others are going to catch up. But when the others catch up, Sony especially, I hope Canon doesn't just sit back and be like, well, we got the R5. We're good. You know? They need to stay in the race. The camera race. Maybe Elon Musk will fucking buy Canon and start that shit. Anyways, what else is up, man? I've been watching a lot of shows lately. I watched a show, The Outsiders, on HBO, and that is based off a Stephen King novel. I think it's a novel. Is it a novel? It's based off of a Stephen King novel, and that show, honestly, is one of the best shows that I've seen this year. It was so good. And, you know, they jumped right into it. Right off the bat. It was 10 episodes long, and each episode had me hooked. Like, I just wanted to know what happened. And I wanted to keep watching. The only thing is, well, if you haven't seen it, I'm sorry. I'm going to spoil it a little bit. Okay? Not too bad. The only thing is that the ending, didn't end the way I wanted it to end. So the premise of the show is, you know, this guy murdered children, played by Jason Bateman. Okay, he murdered a child, and they arrest him. But he's saying that he didn't do it. Okay? Turns out that there was a creature or monster that was his doppelganger. Took his image, and while Jason Bateman was out of town, Jason Bateman's clone was in town and is the one that murdered the kid. Okay? So then they follow a trail back to, you know, Jason Bateman came into contact with this person, and then this person, the same exact thing happened. And then they follow the trail on and on and on. And so then they get to the ending where, you know, the monster passed on to the next person, and they wanted to stop it before it killed more kids. And the way it ended was, you know, they hyped up that this monster, this creature, was this big, scary, mythical beast. You know, like the boogeyman is pretty much what it was. And at the end, I was like, they confronted the guy who is the new boogeyman. And I wanted it to be more like, you know, like, oh, like, you caught me, and then, like, he, like, turns into his, like, boogeyman form, and, like, they do this huge battle, you know what I mean? And that's not how it ended, man. You know how they killed the boogeyman? They shot him. Literally, shot him once, and he was down. Oh, and then the guy goes back and is like, oh, he's not dead, and smashes his head with a rock. Okay? So anticlimactic, man. anticlimactic. You know, they built it up so much, dude. And I was waiting for it. I was waiting for an epic ending. And they were like, how do we kill the boogeyman? We just fucking smash his head with a rock. Cool, dude. Sick. So, just keep that in mind. You know, if you watch it, it's called The Outsiders. And great show up until the last 5 minutes. And I'm like, fuck, dude. Whatever. I don't care anymore. You know? I just noticed I'm going to talk about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I got a Superman mug. Big no-no. Sorry. Not going to change it now. What if I just came back? What if I literally took 5 minutes to go change my coffee mug, and you guys just watched just nothing? You know? Don't do that, Chris? Okay. Sorry, guys. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is I was on the interwebs, and I was seeing these videos of these people react to a movie that came out on Netflix. You know what I'm talking about, Chris? It's this movie called Love. Okay? Now, I didn't watch it, but I had to go see what they're talking about. And when I saw that, people were like, oh, this is like just watch the first 3 minutes of the movie. And I'm like, okay, I'll go do it. So I went on to Netflix and I found this movie called Love. And this movie is just a porno put onto Netflix. It's literally porn. I'm sorry? 365? I don't know what he's saying. But the majority of people, you know, some people are like touchy about that stuff. Now, here's the thing. I went and watched the first 3 minutes, and I was like, holy fuck. You know? They showed the pee-pee. They showed the vajayjay. And it opens, and there's no build-up, dude. It just, boom. The girl's laying on top of the dude. The dude is finger blasting the girl. And the girl is just jerking him off. And the thing is, and I'm like, okay, I guess, you know, like, sure, push the limits. But then she jerks him off to completion, dude. And it was only 3 minutes, dude. Come on, man. So, when I saw that, dude, I was like, okay, that's not too bad, right? So I didn't watch the movie, but I fast forward to see like what else, like how far are they pushing the limits? And then I fast forward, and not even 5 fucking minutes later is another sex scene. And it's full on sex. Like penetration and everything. And I said, hey, it's not a movie. It's a porno. It's a porno without the cheesy acting. It's you know, like some pornos are like, it's like, did somebody order a pizza? No, I don't have any money. Well, I got your sausage pizza right here. You know? Or, I don't know, dude. I don't watch the cheesy acting. By the way, if you... Somebody asked me once what kind of porn I watch. Okay? And that was one of the most awkward questions in my life because I didn't really know this person that great. But somehow he just wanted to know. Maybe he just wanted to know if he was a fucking weirdo. You know what I mean? And I was like, what do you mean? What kind of question is that? What kind of porn do I watch? And he goes, hang on, let me fucking, oh, no. Oh, fuck, hang on. Oh, crap. Oh, I was trying to turn it off, but didn't work out. So I'm like, what kind of question is that? I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And he's like, well, what kind of, he was like weird about it, like shy about it. What kind of porn do you watch, man? And I'm like, hey, dude, all of it. You want to know what kind of porn I like, dude? How about all of it, dude? You know? Ladies, if you want to know what kind of porn your guy likes, and I know girls don't like, you guys don't talk about that sometimes. You want to spice it up in the bedroom and put on a nice porno, dude? Just put on whatever, dude. Just go on there and pick the first video. You'll be fine. I mean, maybe there's some things that, some people aren't into, but all of it, dude. Anyways, I digress again. So this movie, dude, every fucking 5 minutes there's a sex scene. Fucking blowjobs. Vag eating, dude. Getting in there, getting his dessert. And, and it's a movie. It's like an award-winning movie. And I'm all for art, dude. I get it. If you want to have a nice sensual sex scene, I'm all for it. Go for it. Artistic, whatever. But the only thing artistic about these scenes is the shots and how they're shot and how they're lit. The rest of it is just porn. It's literally just a perverted European director who just wants to see some people fuck, dude. Imagine that European director. I want to say actor. Imagine that European director casting for that movie. Like, we're going to have, if you want to be in this movie, you're going to have, how do you say sex? Oh, there's going to be a sex scene? Yes. Sex scene. Yes. Oh, okay. I'm okay with that. And normally, like, sex scenes are like, there's no penetration. They put on a sock on their cocks, dude. And I can't believe I just said cock. Okay? But, he's like, yeah, sex scene. Yes. And then imagine if he was, like, so discreet about it because he didn't want them to say no. And they get to the scene, it's like, okay, first scene, we're gonna start with sex scene number 1. Sex scene number 1. Okay, there's more than one. Okay, all right. Okay. So get naked. Okay, we get naked. Okay. Okay, now you lay down. Men, lay down. And lady, my beautiful lady, you lay down on top of him. But across. You're not going to be on top of him like this. You're going to be on top of him like this. Okay. Now stroke his cock. Stroke it. What? No. It's okay. Just stroke it. Dude, imagine how quick the dude fucking agreed to that. You know? We're gonna have a sex scene, but it's gonna be real sex. Oh, I'm in. And then the girl's like, I'm gonna have to think about it. You know? No. You take too long. Let's get girl who's not hot. Get girl who's not hot and needs money. Oh my god, dude. Fucking pervert, dude. I don't even know what the movie's about, to be honest, dude. I didn't watch it. I didn't even watch all the fucking scenes. And it wasn't even that good either. I wasn't go on Netflix and watch porno. I would have loved that movie when I was fucking 13, dude. When I would go through all the old VHS tapes and fucking try to find any sex scene in any fucking movie. Anyways. So now it's time for Nerd Alert!
Nerd Alert! Nerd Alert!
Nerd Alert. I like some Nerd Alert. So we're going to talk about Phase 4 of the MCU. Now there's supposed to be a lot going on. So I'm not going to get too deep into any of them. I am going to, explain or get into the first 3 that are supposed to come out. Movies / Disney Plus. So Disney Plus show. Okay. I'm going to get into the first 3 and not into too much detail, but then with the other ones, I'm just going to go through them kind of like a list and just give a quick fact or something, but the first 3, the first 2 we've gotten trailers and we know more about, or we can give more theories. The third one I just know about because I love it a lot. And then the other ones, there's no trailers, there's no leaks or anything yet, but this is just what we think about those. Anyway, so the first one on the list for Marvel Phase 4 is Black Widow. Now, Black Widow looks fucking awesome. But that movie was supposed to come out on May 1st of 2020 and has since then been pushed back to November 6th, 2020. I'll move this over here. Is this in the way? Okay. So it's getting pushed back to November 6th of 2020. Now, the idea for this movie is, I think it's supposed to be set after Civil War. Okay, Captain America's Civil War, when Cap goes into hiding. And then Sam and all of them, they get arrested and put into a prison. And then Cap breaks them out, and then they go into hiding too. So Black Widow goes into hiding, and she goes back to her original before the Avengers. So she teams up with her old team, and they were called the Red Room. Okay, this is in Russia. I don't know if it takes place in Russia, but the original team was in Russia. So that includes the 2 major characters is Yelena Belova, which is her sister. Okay, and the Red Guardian, which is the Red Guardian, is played by David Harbour, and he brings an awesome badass style and also a comedic relief is what it seems like. And the Red Guardian is essentially the Russian version of Captain America. Okay. So, and Yelena Belova is a Black Widow as well. So the Black Widow is not just a name for Natasha Romanoff. It's a name for the group of spies, female spies, in Russia. So there's multiple Black Widows. Main villain in this movie is the Taskmaster. And if you don't know who the Taskmaster is, his ability is that he can copy and learn any fight abilities from any person, whether he sees it or fights them. So if he's never fought somebody and he fights them, he can learn their moves. I got another guest. Echo wants to talk about Black Widow. So the Taskmaster can learn their moves within seconds of fighting them. Okay, she's done. Within seconds of fighting that person. So if he's never fought Black Panther, he'll fight him for a minute and he'll learn every single one of his moves that he did. Taskmaster goes back and he'll watch videos of people that he could possibly go up against, and he'll have that ability to do the same. And with that too, like in the trailer, Taskmaster has Black Panther claws. So I'm assuming that, and he fights like Black Panther. I'm assuming he's fought Black Panther in the past, or watched videos of Black Panther. We're not going to get too much into like the trailer and stuff, but that's the Taskmaster. So he can learn anything, any move at the drop of a dime. And you know what I think this movie, the outcome of this movie is going to be is either Natasha will essentially be handing off the torch to Yelena, because let's say she hears that Thanos is coming, and before she leaves to go help, in Infinity War, she knows how big and bad Thanos is, and then she tells Yelena, if anything happens, you need to take over as the Black Widow in the Avengers. That's what I think. That way, moving forward, there's still Black Widow. It's just a different person. And there's also a rumor or a fan theory that Yelena and Black Widow, or Natasha, do the face-off surgery. And that is when they literally take the face off of one person and switch faces. Now, they made a movie about that with like Nicolas Cage and John Travolta. And like John Travolta was a cop and Nicolas Cage was a prisoner. And John Travolta wanted to go into prison to get information about something, so they did a face swap with the two. So that's essentially the idea here. They're spies, and they're going to face swap, switch places so that Black Widow can... I don't know why. That's just a fan theory. I don't think that's what's going to happen, but it is a really interesting idea. I don't like that theory, though, because... if they faced off and then all of a sudden, Black Widow just comes back into the picture after we just watched her die, that would have made her death kind of pointless. You know what I'm saying? Like, Marvel is all about raising stakes. And if they raised the stakes and killed off, major characters, and then they bring her back, that's kind of pointless, you know? So those are my thoughts. I think, she hands off the torch to Yelena, and Yelena is going to be the new Black Widow moving forward. So the next thing on the list, which is Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and that's a Disney Plus series. Everything that's coming out on Disney Plus is going to go in with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So if you don't have Disney Plus, you're going to want to get it, because if you're into all the movies, there's going to be some major things in Disney Plus that are going to go into the movies as well. So Falcon and the Winter Soldier is supposed to set the stage for all the other Marvel movies, because Black Widow is a prequel, pretty much, leading up to her death, or leading up to Infinity War, I'm assuming. I don't know that to be a fact, but it is before she dies, obviously. Falcon and the Winter Soldier is right after Endgame. So, they save the world from Thanos, and they, move forward. Falcon is the new Captain America, and so this is set to release in August of 2020. Now that hasn't been pushed back, as we know, but instead of releasing all the episodes, they're gonna release them week by week. And that's because they haven't finished shooting yet. So basically what's going to happen is that Sam Wilson is the new Captain America, but the government doesn't want him to be Captain America, because Captain America was his own person. And he caused a lot of problems when it came to like Civil War and all that. And the government wanted to take over the Avengers Initiative. So now that Captain America's out of the picture, they don't want somebody who was on Captain America's side, because they know that he's not going to agree with the government. So the government and Thunderbolt Ross, they tell Sam, you can't be Captain America. And then they create their own Captain America. And they're trying to recreate the super soldier serum. So they're trying to recreate Captain America in a whole. And the person that they come up with is a government-issued Captain America, and his name is John Walker. Okay? Essentially, in the comic books, this guy was a trigger-happy... This guy was trigger-happy, and he was controlled solely by Thunderbolt Ross. And Thunderbolt Ross is not a good guy. He's a bad guy. Well, in the comic books. I don't know if they're going to take that further, but I'm sure they are. So this guy's controlled completely by Thunderbolt Ross, and he's a new Captain America. I don't remember his name. I don't remember what they call him, or something like, or whatever. But the main villains, I believe, is going to be Baron Zemo from Civil War, and Thunderbolt Ross, alongside with John Walker. Now this is going to be a very interesting series. I can't even guess like what they're going to, reveal to like move forward, other than the story itself. I'm sure they're going to drop some major Easter eggs for the future movies, but as far as what I just told you right now, I can't really see what they could, add in, as far as Easter eggs go for the future. You know damn well they're going to do it, but I couldn't tell you what my theory would be. So moving on to the next one is the Eternals, and it's a movie, and I'm super excited for this one. Super excited. Now, this one was set to come out on November 6th of 2020, but now it's being pushed back to February 12th of 2021. Now, if you don't know who the Eternals are, the Eternals are cosmic beings created by the Celestials. And Celestials are cosmic beings who were the first ever beings in the universe. So, they talk about it in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. So if you haven't seen that, go watch that to have a better understanding of what the Celestials are. But the Eternals are essentially immortal humans. So back in the day when, there was the caveman days and Earth was first created, the Celestials came to Earth, saw that there was intelligent, primitive beings, and picked 5 of them. I believe there's 5. And turned them into immortal humans, gave them powers and all that stuff. So the whole movie is going to be a connection between the Infinity Stones and the universe. So they're going to explain all that even more. That the Infinity Stones were created by the Big Bang, and then the Celestials, everything is going to connect. But the coolest thing about this movie is that it's going to set the stage for X-Men, because we just got back the rights to X-Men and the mutants and everything Fox. I don't know if they'll bring in the first mutant to be in the movie, but the reason why they're going to set up the X-Men is that the Eternals... So when the Eternals left Earth, they left certain elements in the Earth that tainted the human DNA because of their cosmic power. So in the human DNA changed and developed an X gene. And that's the gene that's in a mutant when they are a mutant. And now not everybody has it, but in the comic books, the mutants have always been around. I think in this movie, now this is also something that I've read, is that the snaps, there's been 3 snaps total in all the movies: Thanos, Hulk, and Tony Stark. Now, when they snap, it releases a cosmic power, energy. All 3 snaps combined are going to trigger the X gene in the humans, creating mutants. And I think, honestly, that's the best way that they could bring in the mutants now that we don't have... in this whole universe, the whole time, there's been no mutants. Because, they were, Fox had the rights, but in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, there's been no mutants. So, it's a good way to kind of bring in the mutants. And also, if you're wondering if why the Eternals were not in Endgame, because Thanos is a huge, big bad man, where were the Eternals the whole time? Well, the Eternals actually lost their memory, and I'm thinking that also with the snaps, it triggered their memories because they are cosmic beings, and when the snaps happened, it triggered all their powers and their memories, which is why they're coming around now. This is going to set up a lot of things. You know, the Celestials moving forward. A lot more cosmic, you know, bad guys. Probably like, you know, Kang or Krang the Conqueror. More Celestials who are bad guys, essentially. You know, this movie could be a big reveal for a lot of things. Adam Warlock. It could tie in with Guardians of the Galaxy. You know, Thor. Everything. Anyways. So those are the first three that I was going to get real deep into. Now the next ones, I'm just going to go through them, tell you when they're set to be released, and give you my thoughts on that. Okay? So the next one who's supposed to come out is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. And that one's going to be awesome because that one's going to be like a martial arts movie, kind of like, essentially. And this is supposed to come out February 12th, 2021, but now it's been pushed back to May 7th of 2021. Now the big bad in that one is going to be the Mandarin. Now when they did the Mandarin before in Iron Man 3, the Mandarin was fake. He was just a front. But the Mandarin is actually a real bad guy, and he was actually a major villain for Iron Man. Now, I was pissed the fuck off when the Mandarin wasn't a real person. The Mandarin in Iron Man 3 was just an actor. Now, we're not going to get too much into it, but the Ten Rings play a big part of that too. And the Mandarin, well, I'm not going to get into it, but that's what that's going to be. Shang-Chi versus the Mandarin, essentially. Now, this is going to be a movie. Next on that list is WandaVision. Okay, that's going to be on Disney Plus. No, my mouth's getting dry. 1 second. WandaVision is going to be on Disney Plus, and that was supposed to come out December 2020. Now it's looking to be spring of 2021. WandaVision is supposed to tie right into Doctor Strange, which we'll talk about. But WandaVision, I'm thinking either Wanda misses Vision and creates an alternate reality with her powers to be with him. B, she is so depressed about it that she unknowingly creates an alternate reality and opens up the multiverse, and she's living in this fake reality in her head. Or C, she opens up the multiverse completely and a new Vision comes into play. That's what I think. This show is gonna have to do something about the multiverse, because Wanda's gonna be in Doctor Strange, which is the next one, which is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Now the multiverse is gonna be opened up. Now with this movie, I'm really excited about this movie because they can do whatever the fuck they want. Once they start getting into the multiverse, they can bring in, this is a Marvel fan's wet dream coming, okay? Because you can pull, now that Marvel has the rights to everything Marvel, except for some of the Sonyverse stuff, but they could bring in, it's rumored to believe that Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man might make an appearance in this movie. Now, if that happens, I'm going to fucking lose my shit, dude. I will probably cry. Is how much I'm going to lose my shit. Okay? If that happens. Now with Doctor Strange, that's set to come out on May 7th of 2021. And now it's been pushed back to March of 2022. So that just opens up the door for anything. And that movie alone could be the future of Marvel moving forward. You know, for Phase 5. You know, Fantastic Four, X-Men, all these other movies that we want to see. This is the way that they can just put it all out there. So next, after that, is going to be Loki. That's a Disney Plus series. Now, that's supposed to come out spring of 2021. Now, that one I think is going to take place after an Endgame when Loki takes the Space Stone and disappears with it. Now, I don't know too much about Loki, to be honest, when it comes to the comic book character. But, I mean, he's the god of mischief. And they say Owen Wilson is supposed to be in this movie, too. So I'm like, what the fuck is he going to do? They're going to do the lady version of Loki as well in that movie. I don't remember what she's called. But it's definitely going to be interesting. So with that one, you know, it's going to be interesting. I don't really know what to say about Loki, to be honest, because it's just so... We saw him die, and now he's back because it's an alternate version of him. And I'm just, you know... A lot of this stuff, I'm just coming off of what I know. You know what I mean? I didn't do too much research. And with Loki, you know, you can research the comic books, and it doesn't mean that's what's going to come out in the movie. So anyways, moving on to the next one is the What If series on Disney Plus. And that's supposed to come out in the summer of 2021. The What If series, I don't think it'll tie in. I think it's going to be like a fun series. Because the What If comic books is basically this being, I don't know what to call him, the Watcher. He watches over everything, and he creates his own realities on what if this happened, or what, you know, different realities on, like, one of them is what if Tony Stark, you know, was Doctor Strange, or what if this person was this, or what if, you know. And I think that series is going to be awesome, and it's going to be animated. So they can do, with an animated series, they can do anything. They can pull off anything. They haven't released any, like, spoilers, but I know for a fact that they're gonna do the Marvel Zombies, because that's an actual comic book, and I saw in one of the Marvel flip things at the beginning of the movie that one of them is the Captain America with the zombie face. And I saw that in a video on YouTube, so they have to do that. Marvel doesn't put things in their movies that doesn't mean something, you know. So the What If series is gonna be. I honestly, I cannot wait, because it's gonna be so you're going to see anything that you want from a comic book, from the comic books, and they can just do it, and it's not going to mess with the continuity of the rest of the Marvel universe. Or they could even tie it in. Who knows? Next one after that is Hawkeye on Disney Plus, and that's going to be in the fall of 2021. And obviously about Hawkeye. And what I think is they're going to bring in the new Hawkeye, which is, I think, his daughter. I don't know too much about Hawkeye either. But he's essentially, I think her name is Cass. No, not Cassie. Look it up. Look it up, Chris. Is it Cassie? Lady Hawk? Hawk Woman? Hot Woman? But, yeah, so I think in that show it's going to be Hawkeye handing over the mantle to a new Hawkeye. A female version of Hawkeye. And then the next one, I just did that on camera. I ate a piece of skin on camera, dude. I just ripped it right off my thumb. And the last one for Phase 4 is going to be Thor: Love and Thunder. Okay? I was still in my mouth. Nasty, dude. Okay. Anyways, moving on. Next one is going to be Thor: Love and Thunder. That one is supposed to come out in November 2021, and now it's supposed to be February of 2022. Thor: Love and Thunder is going to bring in the new Thor, which is Jane Foster. Jane Foster is going to wield the hammer. Okay, going back to Hawkeye real quick. The new Hawkeye is Kate Bishop. Okay? Kate Bishop is a part of the Young Avengers, which actually I think is what they're going to do moving on. They're going to do either the New Avengers or Young Avengers. And it's going to have, or they could do both. But yeah, she's Hawkeye's gonna take her under his wing and either hand off the mantle, hand off the torch, or have a sidekick. Which, of all people, Hawkeye could probably use a sidekick. Anyways, Thor: Love and Thunder. Jane Foster is going to wield the hammer. They have already announced that. So Natalie Portman is coming back to be Thor. Lady Thor. Now what's going to happen with Thor? Well, Thor has Stormbreaker already. So he doesn't need his hammer. Mjolnir. Okay? I mean, he could still need it or use it, but I mean, anyways, that doesn't matter. Thor, I think Thor is going to go off and deal with bigger, badder things. So now, Lady Thor needs to stay on Asgard or on Earth to protect Earth. Now, Thor still has Stormbreaker, but they say that it's possible they could bring in Beta Ray Bill for this movie. And if they do that, dude, that is going to be amazing, dude. Now, if Beta Ray Bill comes in, I think Thor might lose Stormbreaker because Stormbreaker is Beta Ray Bill's weapon. So I think Thor will either lose it or Beta Ray Bill will have his own forged Stormbreaker. But if Thor loses Stormbreaker, then what's going to happen with Mjolnir? Because Thor gonna want it back, you know. So I don't really know what's gonna happen. All I know is the fact is we're gonna have Lady Thor. Valkyrie's gonna come back. Thor's gonna be there. Who knows? Maybe the Guardians of the Galaxy will be there. I'm assuming Thor's gonna be in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So there's gotta be some kind of connection, because at the end of Endgame, Thor leaves with the Guardians. And if Beta Ray Bill comes, dude, I will shit my pants. Okay. They also say that Christian Bale is supposed to be in this movie. I believe it's confirmed, but we don't know what he's gonna play. I think he's gonna play the villain. Is it Mephisto? It doesn't say. No, it doesn't say. Okay. Yeah, I believe he's gonna play the villain. It's confirmed. A lot of people thought he was gonna play Beta Ray Bill, but I don't think they're gonna take a big actor. I mean, they did it with Vin Diesel, but I didn't think that they would take a big actor that everyone's excited to see and just put a giant horse face on him. Because Beta Ray Bill is not human. So yeah, so that's the end of Phase 4. They say Blade might come out on Phase 4 but I think it's gonna be more like Phase 5. But Blade is he's a vampire hunter. If you haven't seen Blade in the past, which they already did Blade in the past with Wesley Snipes. So Blade in the past was awesome, and I think it was actually one of the first Marvel movies ever made. I think they made it back in like 1990 something. And that was a trilogy, and that was awesome. Some of the best movies I've ever seen. But the new Blade is going to be Mahershala Ali. Okay, and he's already played a Marvel character, but in the Marvel Netflix series Luke Cage. And he was the big bad in that one. He was Cottonmouth. But I don't think those shows are going to be canon to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so I don't think it really matters. Because those were made by Netflix, and then when Marvel got the rights back to everything, they pulled them from Netflix. But I mean, if they added those characters or made those canon to the cinematic universe, that would be so much easier on, like, you know, if they wanted to bring in Daredevil, you know, they don't have to do a backstory. They don't have to do an origin story. For everybody knows, they saw the Netflix series, and they can just throw them right in. Now, I don't think they would do that, but I hope so. I really like that Daredevil. I like the Defenders. They can recast Iron Fist if they want, but I didn't hate that show either. So, yeah. And Blade is going to be able to tie in with Morbius, which is a Sonyverse movie, but it looks like they're going to be tying that into the MCU also. In the trailer of Morbius, they brought in Michael Keaton, the guy who plays Vulture. And that was an Easter egg that they are going to be combining the two. So, the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe is endless. Like, it's everything that you could ask for as a Marvel fan. Finally, there is no rights restrictions. You know, Spider-Man's going to be able to bounce back and forth between Marvel and Sonyverse. Now imagine the paycheck for Tom Holland, dude. Holy fuck. And he's younger than me. What is he, like 19, 20? He's young. Little kid, man. 21 maybe? 24? It looks like he's fucking 12. But yeah, man. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is just... I can't wait, dude. I literally can't wait. Now, if you notice, there's no Avengers movie. Usually at the end of every phase, there's an Avengers movie. But there's no Avengers movie this time. But, you know, they're building up to bigger, better things. Before, it was just Avengers. So it was like the first 10, no, not 10 years. The first, couple movies were introducing each individual Avenger and then bringing them together at the end. And then, after that, they were introducing other characters, but also building up to the next Avenger movie. And then building up to the next Avenger movie. And then they had that build up to Thanos and Infinity War and Endgame. Rumor has it that now they're building up to the Secret Wars, which is just basically Hunger Games with fucking Marvel characters. If they do that, that either A, is going to be really awesome, but then again, if they do that, they're going to be killing off so many characters that they're going to have to rebuild again, just like they're doing now, which essentially they can do whatever they want. There's so many different comic book stories that they can pull from. And now that they're opening up the multiverse, maybe it doesn't even matter. If they can do the Secret Wars now and then be like, Doctor Strange is going to fucking open up the multiverse and here's your fucking favorite characters again. But like I said, I don't think they would do something like that. I don't think they would bring back characters that they built up to their death, But anyways. So I know a little bit about Marvel comic books and stuff. So I hope you guys liked that Nerd Alert episode. I liked it. And I wouldn't tell you guys things that I don't know. Like I said before, when I was talking about Loki, I don't know about Loki. I didn't do my research on Loki, So I'm not going to tell you guys things that I don't know about, but also, if I want to talk about it, I'm going to let you know, hey, I don't know it, or I do know it. And I think it's pretty obvious some things I do know, and I just go off. But that's okay. I hope you liked that episode. But yeah, the MCU is going to be one hell of a wet dream for me, at least. I'm going to have nerdgasms all the time, dude. So yeah. That's it for me, man. Take another drink of my coffee. And thank you for listening to Deep in Some Thoughts. You can follow us on all social media platforms at Deep in Some Thoughts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can email us at deepinsomethoughts@gmail.com. Fucking got it, dude. Or you could even message us on the social media. Another thing I want to do, man, is if you have something you want advice on, I think that'd be a cool segment. I'm a pretty wise old man, okay? You know, I've been through the ringer once or twice. Now I can, that's just a thought. If you want some advice, go ahead and send me some stuff and I'll talk about it. Okay? I like throwing wrenches into things. So okay. That's it for me. Thank you for listening. I'm Juan. And don't have too much wet dreams with the Marvel movies coming up. Okay? Alright guys. Bye bye.